and welcome to Sofia Airport on local time is 9 minutes to 7 p.m.
Welcome to Sofia. For the past 9 months I've been working on a personal photography project photographing old tram lines across Europe. This is my 8th city and I thought I'd take you along to show you what it takes to work on a photo series that hopefully I can turn into a book. First things first, I've just arrived, I need some food and a beer. And just like that, we're back at the hotel. Right, I've not done as much planning for this shoot as I've done for most of the other cities in this trip, purely because I don't see any obvious big shots like I have in Budapest or in Prague, typically big architectural bridges, that kind of stuff. So I think I'm not going to bother with sunrise tomorrow, mostly because I can't be bothered, to be honest. And tomorrow's going to be more of a sort of walk around, find interesting spots, actually see the trams because I've not seen them yet, and we can go from there. Alright, I'll catch you tomorrow. Good morning, it's the next day. I've had time to have a look at my saved locations on Google Maps, and I think the idea is to head into town, grab the number 10 tram, which should take me to 3 different locations that I've saved. So maybe I can get some shots today. It's nice and cloudy, which tends to work quite well for these trams, and if not, I can see if there's any potential and any need for me to return at sunrise or maybe sunset. So let's head into town, see what we can find. In each of the cities that I've photographed so far, I've tried to include at least one big shot of landmark architecture. So that would be the Duomo in Milano, the castles in Prague and Bratislava, Liberty Bridge in Budapest, and I have to admit here I struggled a bit to find that shot. What did jump out on Google Maps was the Eastern Orthodox Church that sits roughly in the centre of town, but I wasn't sure how the trams related to it, and I've got some good news as I'm obviously walking away from it now. The tram stops roughly 100 metres further at a red light, which is great because it means it's sitting stationary, and on top of that it stops on a pedestrian stretch of road, which means there's no car traffic to impede my shots. So I think this could act as that shot and it would be worth a sunrise shoot, but here's what I've managed to get so far. Okay, I've just gotten off the tram in the middle of this foresty section, and the tram stop, which is this beautiful wooden hut, is still standing, and that's good news because I've read on Google Maps reviews that this place actually burned down. It's obviously been rebuilt, and I think there's definitely some shots to be had here. Well, that was relatively productive. I think I've got some usable shots, but I do believe this will be a lot moodier at night, and it does seem like there's some lights at that stop. So I'm thinking I will return. In the meantime, I've walked down a little bit. This is, I guess, a sort of big public park and the tram runs right through it and sort of zigzags. So I'm trying to find some compositions with the tram coming sort of in and out of the woods, in and out of the light, and finding some curves that I'm doing my best to accentuate with the 70mm that I've got on now. But I also think I'm going to try some sort of motion shots, intentional motion shots, and I might pull out the 35mm prime for that. Let's see what I can get. Good morning. It's about 6:30. I didn't end up filming very much last night, just because the locations I'd spotted didn't really work out. That's the reality of about half the shoots on these trips, to be honest. So we're headed to the Eastern Orthodox Church now. I think that will certainly pan out. Hopefully the stars align and we get that shot, and if not, I've still got another sunrise tomorrow morning. But yeah, onwards. Okay, I'm framed up, as you can see. Tripod's behind me, so I can just stick the camera on when I want to stop filming and get the shot. There was a potential for a shot about 5 minutes ago, but unfortunately the binmen were parked right next to the tram, and with their headlights on it would have been impossible to Photoshop, or at least convincingly. Still got time. There's a beautiful sunrise that I'm looking at right now. It's in the wrong direction, but it looks like we may just be getting a little bit of light on the church. So now it's really just a matter of waiting for a tram, and hopefully this time there are no cars parked next to it. Right, well, I had to give up on that, I'm afraid. Incredibly frustrating, but it was just distraction after distraction, and not the kind I can easily remove with Photoshop. So I've still got another morning. I'm going to give this another try tomorrow. That's my last day, so I need to get the shot then. But yeah, that's just the way it goes. It's always frustrating to get up for sunrise and sit behind the tripod for an hour and walk away with nothing, but that's life. So hopefully we have better luck tomorrow. In the meantime, I need some breakfast. Okay, I've been fed. I've come to this interesting cobblestone street where the market bazaar is, and it's been quite productive. I've been stood here between parked cars, and essentially I've got on one end the tram stop, which is what you're looking at behind me, and then on the other this bend with some interesting facades, and I've just been turning my body 90 degrees every couple of minutes and firing away. So I think there should be some keepers in there. I'm almost exclusively shooting verticals, just because there's lots of parked cars and rubbish to try and exclude from the shot. But I think some of those will turn out alright. Well, it's been a rather productive day actually. It's funny, it's always towards the end of a trip, usually the penultimate day, that I start panicking and feeling like I've got nowhere near enough content to make whichever city I'm visiting a chapter in the book, that then turns out to be the most productive day, and I think that might be today. I'm back at the cabin in the woods that I visited on my second day, and I'm waiting for it to get darker. It's just about sunset now. I think a blue hour shot would be quite interesting here, so it's just a waiting game now. Good morning. It's early. A lot harder getting up this morning than yesterday. I'm just walking down the main avenue again on my way to the Orthodox church, which I'm looking at right now. Gonna set up the tripod, and then I'm gonna try and film a slightly more detailed look at how I'm approaching composition, just because this morning I should have time, whereas most of the shots that I've done so far have been more sort of run and gun handheld stuff. So let's hope we get somewhere, because I've got to be at the airport in, well, 4 hours. Okay, so I've got the composition set up. I'll show you what that looks like on the tripod in just a second. Before that, some slightly technical stuff. I'm using the Fuji X-H2S to record this and to take all the photos. And that's got 7 custom modes, and that's allowing me to solve for a problem that I had yesterday, which was the tram stops in front of the Orthodox church at a red light, but it doesn't always stop depending on the timing of the red light. I can't see that light, there's no way for me to predict it. So what I'm going to be doing instead is using my custom mode 1, which is fully manual, to switch to in case the tram does stop, and that will be a slow shutter speed and a low ISO, and I'll have it by default on custom mode 2, which will be a faster shutter speed with unfortunately a faster ISO. So when it's approaching, I can capture it in motion, hopefully without too much motion blur, using mode 2, and then if it does happen to stop, all I have to do, instead of switching all my settings around, is switching to mode 1. Hopefully that works out. Here's the composition. Okay, you're looking at a horizontal photo, of course, but this will be a vertical. I'm finding most of the photos in this trip are going to be verticals, and that's mainly for distractions. So in this case, I'm going to get rid of basically all of this, and then on the other side, it's going to crop off just about where that red light is. So it should look something like a third of the image you're looking at right now, with the tram in the middle, but hopefully a nicer one than this. I tell you what, that was quite the adrenaline rush. It might sound very stupid to say, but sometimes the stars do align. Yesterday it did not pan out. I knew we'd have better chances today. I got here a little bit earlier, got the shot set up, got my settings dialed in, and then just waited. And the timing could not have been more perfect. The tram did stop, the correct tram. There was a beautiful sunrise in the background that you can hopefully still see now. And better still, this is something that ails me. The lights, the public lights, turned off maybe 10 seconds. I actually captured it on video. 10 seconds after I got the shot. So it could not have been more perfect. That is what this trip is all about. Okay, we're airport bound. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you. I'm not quite sure what I have in store for this channel yet. I do want to post more. I will keep the property tours coming. There should be one of those online soon, so do check in for that. Nevertheless, I do hope you've enjoyed watching me produce the images from this trip. If you'd like to see all of the images so far from this project, they're all up on my website in glorious HD. I will link to that in the description. But yeah, I've still got 2 more cities to see before I can call this project done. Those will happen in the next 6 months, hopefully. Those are Riga and Gothenburg. I will try to film episodes there as well. I will put all of the images from Sofia at the end of the video, and until then, I don't have a sign off yet.